20 years ago, buying a hybrid meant you were buying a Prius. Today, the word hybrid has fractured. It no longer describes a single type of vehicle, it represents a highly varied spectrum of electrification. You will find hybrid technology powering standard commuter sedans, and you will find it buried inside $50,000 heavy-duty SUVs. When you step onto a dealership lot, you are immediately confronted with an alphabet soup of acronyms: MHEV, HEV, and PHEV. The problem is that buyers are choosing powertrains based on marketing labels. This leads them to overpay for technology that directly conflicts with their daily routine and living situation. Looking at this comparison matrix, upgrading from an internal combustion engine to an advanced hybrid carries a $5,000 to $10,000 premium. A larger battery requires external charging. Uncharged dead battery weight actively penalizes your vehicle, returning worse fuel economy than standard cars. Buying a hybrid based on environmental hype without first evaluating your personal charging infrastructure guarantees a mathematical and financial loss. Looking at this engine blueprint, we can see the minimal architecture of the mild hybrid, or MHEV. Automakers take a standard combustion engine and attach a 48-volt belt-driven starter generator. This component smooths out the harshness of automatic start-stop systems and provides a slight torque boost to reduce turbo lag. The critical limitation is output. An MHEV yields exactly 0 miles of pure electric driving. This bar chart shows the actual impact at the pump. Compared to an internal combustion baseline, an MHEV provides only a 5 to 15% improvement in fuel efficiency. To understand why these systems exist, you have to look at European emissions regulations. Automakers needed a cheap way to lower the average carbon output across their entire vehicle lineups. Fleet buyers rely on MHEVs because the minor CO2 reduction avoids penalties and secures tax write-offs. To achieve economies of scale, automakers trickled this fleet-driven technology down into standard consumer models. Mild hybrids serve primarily as an emissions compliance tool for the manufacturer. For the average retail consumer, the real-world fuel savings are negligible. The full hybrid, or HEV, operates on a completely different philosophy. It requires no plug. Instead, it captures energy exclusively through regenerative braking, storing the momentum you normally lose when slowing down. By recycling energy, HEVs achieve 30 to 40% better fuel economy in stop-and-go city traffic. This chart highlights operational limits: massive city efficiency, but standard highway efficiency. Pure electric range is only 1 to 3 miles. Shifting this data reveals a secondary benefit. Because the motor handles deceleration, HEV brake pads can last 100,000 miles. That reduction in physical wear on the brakes and engine yields a broader economic outcome. Overall, HEVs average 22% lower annual repair costs than their internal combustion equivalents. There are hidden maintenance trade-offs, however. HEVs rely on highly complex air conditioning systems and dedicated battery cooling networks to keep the electronics from overheating. Servicing these vehicles requires strict safety protocols. Technicians must completely disable the high-voltage system before they can safely perform something as simple as a routine brake inspection. That diagnostic procedure adds labor time, meaning your standard repair bills will be higher when components break. Even factoring in specialized labor, the fuel savings and reduced brake wear make the HEV the most mathematically sound middle ground for the vast majority of drivers. The plug-in hybrid, or PHEV, completely changes the infrastructure requirements. It relies on a massive battery architecture that strictly demands daily level 1 or level 2 charging at your home. This graph maps the optimal outcome. A fully charged PHEV provides 15 to 50 miles of pure electric driving, eliminating gas usage. But this range requires a steep $5,000 to $10,000 premium. This expanded graph shows the 0 gas miles needed to break even. To recoup that initial investment, you must possess religious charging discipline and plug it in every night. If you fail to plug it in, you trigger the dead weight dilemma, physically burdening your vehicle's chassis with hundreds of pounds of useless battery. An uncharged PHEV reverts to operating like a standard gas engine. On a road trip without charging stops, that dead weight returns worse fuel economy than a cheaper HEV. That heavier chassis also accelerates standard consumable maintenance. PHEVs often require specialized EV-rated tires to handle the extra curb weight. These tires suffer from faster tread wear, and the suspension requires more frequent wheel alignments to keep the vehicle driving straight. Paying a massive premium for a plug-in hybrid is a net negative financial decision. If you lack a garage outlet or daily charging discipline, the math will not work in your favor. This decision tree flowchart proves that the final purchasing choice comes down to a single question. You must base your decision entirely on an honest audit of your home driveway and your daily routine. Take the infrastructure-constrained optimizer. This is someone who parks on the street, lives in an apartment, or simply wants the lowest total cost of ownership. Following the no path, we lock on to the full hybrid. For this group, the HEV is the definitive recommendation. You secure 40+ miles per gallon and lower repair costs, with absolutely zero changes to how you live or drive. Then there is the suburban commuter. This buyer owns a home with a garage outlet, commutes less than 40 miles a day, and takes weekend road trips. The PHEV is the perfect fit here. They can maximize their pure electric range during the week while keeping the gas engine fueled up to eliminate range anxiety on the weekends. Finally, we have the luxury driver. This is someone who prioritizes seamless power, premium driving dynamics, and actively wants to avoid the regenerative braking feel of a traditional hybrid. The mild hybrid gives this driver exactly what they want. It provides smooth acceleration and a minor efficiency bump without requiring any compromises in performance. The best hybrid does not exist in a vacuum. The only right choice is the one that perfectly